Scotland versus France. The flag is waving behind me, it's that side, because the fan is on, because it's blooming boiling today. Absolutely roasting. So if I sound tired or something, it's due to that. It's just melting here. Anyway, there's rugby. There's a big game. Huge test. Obviously Scotland and France played last week and Scotland came back in dramatic fashion to win 25 points to 21. Now you can tell that France are not happy with that because they've basically gone full strength. France have basically put out one of the strongest teams they can. Scotland have also put a very strong team, not quite as strong as last week I don't think, but that's due to injury, resting, a couple of times. But we'll get into this. What I expect from the game, yada yada yada. So first off, I'll run through the lineups. Oh, hello cat. Are you gonna bomb the screen again? She might. I'll run over the teams. I'll start off with the home team as I always do. So that is France this time. Computer's just turned off. So France, you have 1. Seville Bailly, 2. Julien Marchand, 3. Alderweireld, 4. Woki, 5. Flamant, 6. Boulderhent, 7. Olivon, 8. Aldrit, 9. Dupont, 10. Ntamak, 11. Villiers, 12. Dante, 13. Fickou, 14. Penaud and 15. Ramos. Then on the bench you've got Bourgarit, Gross, Antonio, Vergenhay, Chaleroux, Macolo, Luchu and Bielbiari. So pretty strong there. You've got the likes of Penaud, Fickou, Ntamak, Dupont, Aldrit, Olivon, Bailly, Marchand, basically most of the big names are back. While keeping some of the top performers from last week, Woki's still in, that Bielbiari still on the bench, a couple others, obviously Ramos is still in it. Who's captain? Dupont is captain. So yeah, kind of to be expected from France, a pretty strong team. This is France's big game. I'll just quickly double check. I think it is. I believe that this is kind of France's big test. They've got a couple other games. Today's the 12th, 19th. France are playing Fiji and Australia. So they do have Australia, but I would argue that this Scotland game is probably their big game. Scotland at home. I would argue that Scotland's a bigger threat than Australia at the minute. Although Australia's not bad, I'd just say that Scotland's better at the minute. It's not often you can say that, is it? Yeah, so this is kind of their big test to get ready for what will be a tough pool for them. Obviously they've got the All Blacks on opening day. And yeah, now moving over to Scotland. They've maintained most of their team from last week, 1 or 2 dipping out, so getting at that. So 1, you've got Pierre Schoeman, 2, George Turner, 3, WP Now, 4, Richie Gray, 5, Grant Gilchrist, 6, Captain Jamie Ritchie, 7, Rory Darge, 8, Jack Dempsey, 9, Ali Price, 10, Finn Russell, 11, Duhan van der Merwe, 12, Tui Pilotu, 14, Hugh Jones, 13, Hugh Jones, 14, Kyle Stein, 15, Blair Kinghorn. Then you've got McInally, Sutherland, Sebastian, Cummings, Skinner, Bayliss, Horn and Smith on the bench. So Scotland again going pretty strong, 1 or 2 players out obviously. Sander Fagerson's missing it because of his ban. Ben White's still out after going off with an injury. I've not heard any news on him and if he's likely to be back for the World Cup or not. Darcy Graham's nowhere to be seen. I hope that they're just resting him. Same with Hamish Watson. I wonder if just because they're not too long back from injury, the pair of them, both of them missed a good chunk of last year for injury, that they're just managing it. and they've just given other players a chance because, Dorge and Stein are not bad players at all. I'd argue Dorge might be better at the minute. Stein's not. Stein's still a bloody good winger, but I'd argue Darcy Graham's top 3 wingers in the world at this moment in time. So, but yeah, this is probably Scotland's big test as well as France's. They did play France last week, but it was a weaker France team. This is basically France's full strength team, so it's full strength versus full strength. This is the big game. Now, something that I read interesting, I think it was Squidge that pointed this out. It's quite an interesting one. The team who have been ranked 5th in the world a month out, which is now, has made it to the final in every World Cup since 2003. So, who's 5th in the world at the minute? Scotland. Who's going to make the final? Scotland. Yeah, I think the streak might come to an end. Being realistic, I know I put stuff out about me fancying the South African game, and I do fancy us in the game, but I'm being realistic. We're gonna get good again. I can be hopeful, but I'm being realistic. Now, I would believe that if we pulled this one off, which I think we can, it will definitely show that we can do it. I would definitely begin to believe that we can do it. But the actual game itself, because I don't want to talk too much about the World Cup until after the game, I can't see Scotland winning. I would love Scotland to win. I think France will. I think it might be quite tight. I think it might be I'm going to say about 10 points in it in the end. And I'm going France's favour. I can't see it any other way, unfortunately. I really can't. Just that French team's just too good, man. Too good. Scotland's isn't bad at all. That's really good from Scotland, but that French team, man. It is noticeable though, and I wonder if this might be another reason why they've got Kyle Stein over Darcy Graham, that Scotland's gone for physicality. Stein is a bigger winger than Darcy Graham. Darcy Graham's a wee jinky winger. He can step in. I'd argue. I think he's faster than Kyle Stein. He's got one of the best steps in the world. But Stein's bigger. Thank you, computer security. Just bloop. Just came up all over my screen with my stuff on it. Yeah. Stein's a bigger winger. He's not as big as Van der Merwe. I don't think anyone's as big as Van der Merwe. But he's bigger, and they've also gone for the 6-2 split on the bench. The only backs on the bench are Horne and Smith. And they have also picked. It's interesting that there's no likes of Matt Fagerson. They've elected more for Skinner, who can play both second and back row, as well as Cummings, who's a second row, and Bayliss, who's a back row. Obviously, Bayliss had that beautiful goosey against Italy to score it in the corner at the end of the game. I'd love to see him do similar. But, last minute of the game, Scotland 3 points down. Bayliss does a goosey past Pinot, dotted down in the corner. That would be absolutely hilarious. Yes, I'm playing with my hair because I've told you, bloody boiling in here. I've got a fan on behind me and everything, but it's not doing much. But yeah, that's all I've really got to say. Scotland look like they're going physical. France are very, very good. That's a strong French team. I can't see Scotland winning. I'd love Scotland to win. But yeah. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. Give me your opinions on the game. And until next time, I'll see you later.